Grand day. Welcome to Reaper Suburban Homestead. I'm your boy Reaper. What is today? Today is Thursday, April the 30th. It is currently 65 degrees. The high today is supposed to be 69. The low is supposed to be 57. I didn't think, looking at the chance of rain. It was supposed to rain today. It's been raining. This morning we are going to check the garden first and we're going to take some propagations of some things that need to be propagated. We have our flipper ripper. We got our bucket with some soil, some pots, and a hand trowel and a 1020 tray to put everything in. We're going to be taking some propagations of several things. Oh, I need to get the hedge trimmer out. Oh, this ground is wet. It's a little chilly. Ain't too bad. All right, let's let's uh let's do this. Oh, I should have put my hoodie on. I should have put my hoodie on. Chilly. All right, quick little precursory look at everything before we get started with these propagations. Everything's looking good this morning. A little water to dump in some places. We're definitely gonna be propagating this spicy basil. Spicy basil, spicy oregano, hot and spicy oregano. We're gonna definitely give her a haircut. All right, let's see what else are we gonna take propagations of today. Let us see what we can see. See. All right. Everything over here is looking pretty good. We got the banana mint popping back up throughout this bed. This is a tree. That ain't supposed to be in here. Get up out of here. The grapes are graping. I'm gonna have to build a trellis for these grapes. Give them somewhere to grow. I need to retop up this mulch as well. Most of this stuff on that may be wet. So we probably won't do that today. Maybe we'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. If the weather permits. Oh, I see some damage. We have cabbage worm damage. Let's see how bad it is. I have not treated the garden with any type of bug stuff this season. Let's see, that's a slug. Maybe there's slug damage. There's a slug by my thumb. Used to be. Got rid of him. I don't see the cabbage worm, nor do I see cabbage worm poop. But we're gonna keep looking. See if we can find the offender. Alright, let us see. I'm not really doing a thorough check, more precursory. But while it's raining, we won't treat anything. We have to treat it after it rains. Alright, we got another tree in Ginger Island. We don't want trees in Ginger Island, we want ginger. And we have not seen ginger. That's alright. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if any of this ginger I planted decide to pop up. And if not, we'll give it another shot. But this time, if it doesn't pop up like this, then next time we'll start them in the house. And then bring them out here. Kind of like we did the one in the corner. That one was started in the house. Hey, yo, what's good? Mariano? Hey, Mariano. Grand day, how's it going? Hope you're having a beautiful morning. Oh, there go the little baby Robin. The baby Robin lives in the garden. Can't believe it let me get this close. Mama Robin gonna come in mad. She gonna pick shit out of me. Hey, I would feed this bird and kind of take care of it. I'm gonna let that bird be first of all. I'm not gonna touch it. I don't really know how animals. Oh, that's her building a nest back there that he's just standing on top of. I don't know. I don't know how robins nest, but I've seen this bird several places. It was in this bed in mother a week or two ago, and it hopped out and hopped up on that inside the house. Okay, now right here we're gonna do a little pruning. These are baby morning glories. I do not want these to grow. At least not right here. I like morning glories. I planted them. One of the first things that I planted, then I learned, bruh, unless they have something to grow on, they're gonna strangle everything that's around them. That's what they do. Now these grapes, I'm gonna train these grapes to grow up this post and up the fence. And I'm gonna have them just growing across the fence. Since I have grapes in a lot of my bed. Remember me when you're famous? I sure will. I sure will. I definitely will. I'm gonna remember everybody when I'm famous, bro. I promise. The grapes are graping. They're looking pretty good. This kale is definitely kaling. I didn't prepare to harvest any kale today. Do I want to make some kale chips? Do I want to make kale chips later today? Well, we're gonna see. Well, let's finish looking at the garden because I might end up running back in the house to grab a hoodie because like I said, it's 60-something degrees. It's pretty chilly. Now here's my oak. Here's my garlic. Some of this is elephant garlic in the front. Some of this to the side, and in the back is just regular garlic. It's a garlic chive in here that's gone to seeds and flowers. The collard greens are gone to flower. The oregano is doing good as a ground cover. And you know what? Let's do a little maintenance, man. We're gonna do a little maintenance. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. This stuff ain't good eats down here. Then we're gonna put it in our worm tower. This is our in-ground composting. Now you could fill these with some red. I said fill them. You could put some red worms in here. That'll help this process out faster. At some point, I had a worm farm, and then a couple of years back, when we had all that hot weather in Mississippi, we had 100 degrees for over 30 days, bro. Them worms did not make it. But hopefully, some of the eggs survive, and they're all around the garden because I use the worm compost in all my soils. So there are probably red worms and there are definitely probably more earthworms, and they do a decent job. I mean, they break that stuff down. I fill it up, let it get broken down, fill it back up, and then once I have enough material in there, I just grab a shovel and scoop it out. Not all of it, pretty much almost all of it except the bottom. I use enough. I leave enough material to inoculate whatever else I put in there. Now that hole ain't supposed to be in there. Now these buckets, the tops get brittle over time due to the sun. So I was pushing the top down and pushed my hand through it, my thumb through it actually. But anyway, collard greens are forming seeds nicely, looking good. I've never let my collard greens go fully to seed. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Several months it seems. The anise hyssop is beautiful. I love the way this looks, and I love the way it smells too. I can't place the smell, but I love it. It smells like something from my childhood, honestly. Some random type of old school country candy. But yeah. What is this? I think this is sorrel. I need to do some research on how to use anise hyssop. I mean, obviously we got it for the flowers, but it may have some medicinal purposes as well. Some Ayurvedic purposes that I'm unaware of. Gotta make my babies look pretty. It's also mean my babies need something to eat. I need to feed them. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Treat the garden, feed the garden. So I hate to say that because we're really gonna be feeding the soil. We're gonna feed the soil tomorrow. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna make sure I got some nutrients mixed up and ready to go. And I'll explain because they're K&F inputs, Korean natural farming inputs. But we're gonna get rid of some of these yellow. When a leaf starts to turn yellow, that's the plant's way of removing it. Either the plant has decided this solar panel is no longer needed, so it pulls all the energy from it, which turns it yellow, and then the plant is going to discard it, or the plant doesn't have enough nitrogen to support it fully, and then the same thing happens. Turns yellow, and then gets dropped. But I don't know. I don't know the requirements, the nutrient requirements for this plant. I do know most plants don't like a lot of nitrogen when they're starting to go to flower. It sometimes retards the flowering process. But I don't know if that applies to anise hyssop. The yarrow is going to flower. I need to, man, the queen be tripping on this. I mean, my partner be tripping on this. So I need to see if she cares if I split this. I did dig up some yarrow from on the side of her herb bed. It's in the house. It's in the garage actually. Um, kind of just seeing if it's gonna live for me. Manhandling it. Uh, I don't know. My picture this app say that this is garlic. I actually think that this is a leek. We grew leeks last year. We also grew red Malabar spinach right here. I don't see any of that popping up just yet. I do have three of them that I got from a friend's farm that I'm planning on planting um, out in the garden, out near Fallen Pines. Okay, this grape here is just growing. It suffers setbacks during the summer. I have, I got to harvest some of this mint. Like I'm going to take some of this mint to make FPJ, fermented plant juice, but I have to wait 2 days to after the rain in order to harvest it. So ooh, it's growing, and then the rest of it we're gonna dry. We're gonna cut it back down, damn near to the ground. It's probably gonna end up being like yay tall when we finish. And then the rest of it we'll probably try to sell some fresh at the market. I can't say spearmint is a big taker, and then the rest of it we'll dry and use for teas. But again, we may sell the dried mint at the market, but we definitely gonna keep some for us. All right, I said I was gonna propagate that hot and spicy basil. I mean oregano. So we're gonna set up like right over here, right? And I'm gonna see what else are we going to propagate, if there's anything else we're going to propagate. All right, all right. The lemon thyme is going to flower. Pretty color. Wait. What you doing? What you doing in my yard? Hey, bro, I'm growing food in your yard. You should come join me. You should come join me. Growing food. That's what I'm doing. You should come holler at me. Come out here and help me out. Bring me a cup of hot cocoa or something. It's serious. See, you got dragon. Get away from my food. Man, I'm taking care of your food. Without me, you wouldn't even have food. You might well call me a bee. Without me, you wouldn't even have no food to eat. I'm making sure it all gets done. Dragons. Hey, they dragons. Does that mean you like Dragon Ball Z? I am a fan. I'm is a fan. We're gonna empty some. Wait. Let's do this. Let's put y'all in the kangaroo pouch. And I need two hands to kind of empty some of this stuff out. We're gonna put the tripod right there. We're gonna put y'all in the kangaroo pouch. My little Joeys. I'm gonna take care of my little Joeys. Yes, and dragons. That's what's up. The and dragons. So let me ask you this. You say something about dragons. You familiar with Skyrim? Elder Ring? Elder Ring? Not Elder Ring. Not Elder Ring. Elder Scrolls. The Skyrim series. The Dragonborn. Yeah, you familiar with the Dragonborn? Fusroda. Boy, I lost so much life playing that game, Skyrim. Oh, I did. That was my first RPG that I played. And then come to find out it was like one of the biggest ones at the time. But one of my homeboys, well, somebody I worked with, a guy I worked with was my assistant. He got me that game because he was a gamer. Yeah. And I cursed that man. I was like, bro, why the hell you get me this damn game? But I tried to complete every objective in the game because of OCD. I didn't know that was an impossibility. I didn't know that the game forever spawned quests. 'Cause, you know, I'm more of a gamer now than I was then. So this is my first time playing that type of game. I had no clue of the format. Can you imagine trying to finish all the side quests in Skyrim before you try to finish the main quest? I never finished the game. I think I got to like the Dark Brotherhood quest line. I think I had to like destroy some bees was like the last mission I played on that game. That's funny. I ain't played that game in years. I got it on my Xbox. I'm scared to play it. I am terrified. Scared I'm gonna lose more life. And then I gotta start back over. I can't say my character was OP, but his sneak was damn near 100. I snuck everywhere I had to go. I was terrified. I ain't got no sense, bro. My brother, your brother beat it. That's what's up. Yeah, man. I couldn't. It was too much, bro. I got overwhelmed. I'm too OCD for that type of stuff. I'm better. I'm better now. I'm a better gamer now. But then I was trying. I mean, OCD, baby. I got 100% the game. You know, so I'm so used to playing linear games. Yeah, that game you kind of just make your own decision. That threw me. I love it. Now this Violet D Bordeaux fig is kind of worrying me because it's all droopy right here, but nowhere else. I don't know if the stem is affected or maybe it needs a bigger pot. The plan is to put these in the ground, all of them. Probably somewhere near where they are now. Not all of them. That is not going right there. But I need to build a swale first. I would like to build a swale first. And I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but there are these little green sticks I placed in the ground. I'm gonna have to go replace some of them and check them again. All of these should be on contour with the land. They should all be level. From stick to stick should be level from stick to stick. So I'm gonna dig technically a ditch, you know what I'm saying, that connects all these sticks. Hopefully it's about as wide as a wheelbarrow. That part I'm not sure yet. I don't really know how big I need to make it. And what its job is to catch the water that runs because my property is sloped. You need a bigger pot and build a swale first. Yeah, that is, yeah. Yeah, you was high too. It was intense, bro. I ain't lying, it was intense. I was scared of everything. I remember being trying to kill some woman at some castle, bro. I put so many arrows in her head and she still killed me with like 6 arrows coming out her head. That's so goofy. But yeah, I am gonna try to build a swale first because they say swales are tree growing systems. That is kind of the point of a swale, as well as retaining water and storing it in the ground. So that is gonna be the goal. I think I have access to a broad fork. Yeah, broad fork. It just needs some handles. So I think I'm gonna probably see if I can drop $40 on some wooden handles and get them shaped up and installed in the broad fork so I can penetrate the ground on the berm side. This is the low side on my left over here. So on the berm side over here, I'm gonna stab the ground, you know what I'm saying, with the broad fork to kind of loosen up everything. And then as I excavate, I'll build a berm. And then it's not gonna run to the fence all the way because I don't want the overflow to happen and run water to my neighbor's yard. So I'll probably, you know what I'm saying, build that up higher. And then it just come down through and everything through here should be level and it's gonna stop at the walkway. And then I don't know if what I'm gonna do about an overflow. I'll have to cross that bridge when I get there to see if I need one. This will be my first time doing this. I've watched some videos, done some reading. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But hey, that's the fun. That's the fun. This is my Cadota fig. Oh, this is my Delta fig. I'm from the Delta, Mississippi. This is a fig from there. So it's probably a brown turkey or a Celeste. This is a Cadota. If I didn't say, this is my elderberry. It has flowers on it, so we'll probably get some elderberries this year. That fig in that bucket over there is a white Marseille. We have olives. It's my little olive tree. And we have a few little olives on here. I don't know what I'm doing. Never grown on olive. But this one right here by my thumb. And this one up here. It's probably a couple more. There's a couple more on here too. Can we? Yeah. All right, now that's tea. I hate to say tea tree because there's a tea tree. People are like, oh, that's a tea tree plant? I don't know. It's called tea. So it's a tea plant. Don't know. Right here is the LSU Gold fig. I need to get more figs. I've started to like figs. Once I found out figs didn't all look like from my hometown, oh, I was over. It was over. And they taste different too. There's a honey fig, a sugar fig, and a berry fig. Oh, bro, I done lost my mind. I done lost my mind. I'm talking about, yeah. Yeah. I will buy a fig from somewhere. I try to keep the prices low, catch them on sale, but this one was like $40 when I bought it. That hurt my feelings. But my partner was like, why are you tripping? You sell 3 of them, you done made your money back. And I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm just trying to catch these things on sale for half off. but yeah, I haven't sold any of these just yet. I've traded a Cadota fig. Somebody gave me some milkweed and some other seeds. And I asked them if they wanted a tree. I mean, I trade plants, bro. Like, I do that. I trade plants. I tell people at the farmer's market, bro, like, you ain't got to come buy something. We can trade. If you got something you want, you got something I want, we can swap it out for value or whatever, bro. Or, you know what I'm saying? If it's something I want, don't care about the value. That you love plant, man, what? Look, bro, I do, man. Let me flip this thing around. Can y'all see my shirt? My homeboy, I gotta take this thing off. My homeboy Panda bought me this shirt, bro. That's my brother from another mother. My shirt says, I propagate that. Man, I buy this shirt so proudly. And that's why I put it on today, because today is what? Propagation day. My people know me. Lip and rip. Get out my face. Yeah. I do, bro. This is definitely a passion. It's peaceful. I love it. And it's rewarding. My nieces come out here and they're like, they're like 2, 7, and 8. They identify plants. They love the carrots. Oh, they identify plants. They know them. I'm talking about they know them. Uncle, can I I pick a strawberry, baby? What color is that strawberry? Green. What color strawberry is supposed to be? Red. Can you pick that now? All right, then stop asking me them questions. Stop asking me them questions. You know the answer to that question, young lady. This is a Beers Black Fig. Um, I'm just waiting to get figs. The only figs we've actually gotten were from this one. This one had figs on it when we bought it. They were amazing, and they finished like a light green color too. But the rest of them, they're like two seasons old, 2 years old or so. So I'm expecting figs, especially once I drop them in the ground. Once I drop them in the ground, I'm expecting them to grow crazily. If I didn't point that one out behind the little pot, though, the little pot is carrots. Taller plant is a pomegranate. Another pomegranate. Now these pomegranates were grown from seed from pomegranates that I bought from the store. So we're gonna see if they do anything. Another olive tree. This is another fig. This is another white Marseille fig. This one we bought. The first one I think Granny gave us to it. Granny Reaper. Wait, Granny Reaper? Granny Reaper? Granny the Reaper Granny? I gotta figure out how to say that. She bought that and then she was like, I got one, I don't want another one. So she gave it to us and we make it do what it do, baby. We make it do what it do. So you building the green? Yes, I am, man. Granddad King of Wakanda. What's good, my guy? Yeah, glad you made it, bro. I'm glad everybody could join. Yeah, I am building a green yard, man. Like the point is this part of the yard, the middle part. First of all my garden has names. All parts of it has a name. It's probably some pop culture reference related because I'm a geek like that. But this part here is called Fallen Pines. As you can see, we had trees cut down right here. So before we had them cut, they were falling. Reaper mom. No, that's my mama. So no, Mama Reaper. We just gonna call her Granny Reaper. We're gonna call her Granny Reaper. We're gonna call it. My mama I call Mama Reaper. My pops I called him Papa Reaper. And so Granny gonna be Granny Reaper. We just gonna keep it because my brain gonna be simple. Yeah, I better get that name right. You ain't lying. Mom Reaper. See, I got Mama Reaper. We're gonna go Granny Reaper. Granny Reaper's gonna be it. Cause we call her Granny. So that way she'll know it when she hear it. She know we talking about her. But yeah, the point of the middle part of the yard called Fallen Pines is to create a permaculture type area. I want to be able to plant things here and they just live and they spread. And then my job is to thin them out as I use them. So like all these areas, I put down cardboard boxes and pine straw. The pine straw, my neighbors put it out on trash day. I collect the pine straw, the leaves, and the grass for anybody who bags grass. And then I just put it down as a mulch. And so what I do is dig up spots, maybe remove the cardboard depending on when I do it, if the cardboard is still here. And I'm gonna dig up spots and I plant things up through here. Like I want this entire area where you see nothing's growing, we'll be planting with some. Like this area right here in between, I would love to plant a ground cover like oregano and just walk through it. I'm gonna create a path because I'm OCD. So I ended up with a path, footpath wide, and everything on the outside will be food that I can harvest. And it'll be used as a ground cover. So that's the plan. So in that corner, I planted some turmeric. We're gonna see if it comes up. Planting some turmeric right here. We're gonna see if that comes up. But all through here, I'm gonna start planting things. That anise hyssop, the one that's not in flower, I need to put it somewhere. I don't know how big it's going to get. And the sun comes from over this way in the morning. So I don't want to put it here in the shade, the garden in the morning. But putting it over here on this backside somewhere, where the evening sun comes from over in this direction, that wouldn't be a bad idea. The trees are going to get taller, so they're going to kind of provide some shade from that scorching sun, the scorching zone 8B sun in Mississippi. So that hopefully works out. But everywhere else, I plan on planting food that we can eat. That is the goal. I need to name these beds. These individual beds don't have names just yet. All my other ones do. I didn't name them, but they do have names. If you want to know, we can walk back up there and look at the names. But this is squash, mostly squash. Summer squash, yellow squash. Yeah, yellow squash and some spaghetti squash in here. 2 spaghetti squash. One there, one there. Then some marigolds, a nasturtium. All right. This is the most recently made bed. I finished making this bed sometime last week. I tilled it up, topped it up with leaves. Now you should really wait like a week or 2 before you plant after you till. I don't do that all the time. I found that if you cover the soil and don't let the seeds get sunlight, the weed seeds get sunlight, then you don't really have to worry about weed pressure. The reason you would want to wait is to give the seeds that you know recently turned up time to germinate, so you kill them again with a second tilling. But we practice a light till. So if I'm lucky, that will be the only time I till this bed. I tilled it once, covered it with leaves, and if I can keep it covered with leaves and fed, I shouldn't have to till it again. I should be able to just use a hand trowel or a shovel to plant what I want. So we planted in this one Japanese eggplant that I got from Mama Reaper, and some holy basil or tulsi that I got from a biodynamic farm that I manage, and then some marigolds that we grew. So this is kind of a eggplant, holy basil, eggplant, marigold, eggplant, holy basil on the end, and right here we have okra. I think this is a crimson okra that we purchased from somewhere. We also have some Roman 1010 okra, some I think it's like African tree okra that we grew and harvested the seeds from. We're currently trying to get some of those germinated to put out here as well. But we have okra, marigold, okra, holy basil, okra. You get it all the way down. Don't know what we're gonna put in the middle just yet. It's just open. And we try to stack stuff in here. I mean, I try to semi plant according to spacing, but if it don't work out, it don't work out. Don't care. Right here we have a pepper that we not reclaimed. We overwintered. We dug it up when it finished producing last year, and we put it in a pot and kept it in the garage and it stayed alive. And it already has peppers on it. I think it's a cayenne pepper. I did not document what kind of pepper this was, but it looks like a cayenne. So that's one of the benefits of overwintering. You get your peppers earlier. This is a period. It has a little pepper on it. That's how I know. This is a smaller period. Same situation. Has a little pepper on it, so I know. This one looks a little worse for wear. We have cayenne right here. Then we have, can I read that tag from here? Ooh, is that a jalapeno? I think that's a jalapeno. I think those are jalapenos. Yeah. Those are jalapenos. Those are habaneros. Now with these peppers, some of them I'm gonna cut the tops off of to see how they do, to see if they give me more peppers, or if that's just a wives' tale, right? I don't know if anybody's ever heard that topping your peppers will give you more peppers. I mean, most plants, when you cut the tops of them off, it forces them to bush, which can give you more growing points. So these bell pepper, I'm definitely gonna test it. I have 6 of them, the same type of bell pepper, California Wonder. 3 of them I'm gonna cut the tops off of, and the other 3 I'm just gonna let grow, and we're gonna see what happens. And they've also been interplanted with marigold, some holy basil, and another nasturtium, and that's a French marigold. Man, nah, I won't do any water features. Granny Reaper, I'm glad you like Granny Reaper. I probably won't do any water features, and I say that now, but that could possibly change. I don't have plans for doing one, but I don't really have a plan for this side just yet. Like, I'm gonna put beds here, but I haven't laid them out in my head just yet. So the only quote unquote water feature would be the swale, which technically ain't really gonna be a water feature. And at some point we're gonna have to rent a chipper to chip this up. We're gonna turn it into wood chips to kind of also put down over the paths as well. And also there's a duck living in here. This is like the 3rd, 4th year that I've had ducks in my yard to lay eggs. One of them, last year, it was like right in this area, because this was covered. It was trees here. And then the year before, or 2 years before, was 2 spaces over here. This year, it seems to be in there. I seen the duck. I've been sitting out here, and I seen her come in with her homies. One homie keep going, keep flying on past. She'll land, look around for a few minutes, and waddle her little butt right up in here. I've also seen a rabbit come up in there. So uh, fully expect things to start hopping out as we start moving things around. Over here we have the zucchini. The zucchini. I love squash too, bro. Dragon, you mentioned you like squash. I love squash. Last year I lacto fermented some squash to make some pickles out of it. I cut them into spears, like cucumber spears, like pickles. And then I lacto fermented them. Oh my god, they were so good. Now you probably want to. I don't know how y'all feel about like fermentation. I like fermentation because it's good for gut health. You know what I'm saying? So, and lacto fermenting things is super simple. I mean, you pretty much take the weight, you get the weight of it. Don't quote me on this. Look it up though, because I can't remember if you get the weight of the item and the water that you're going to use, or just the item, and you use 2 to 3% salt. So you just take that. You know what I'm saying? If it's 100 grams, you multiply that by 0.02. You know what I'm saying? You can do the math on that. It's 20 grams, right? Or 2 grams. Or move the 0 2 times. Move the decimal place 2 places to the left. That's how much salt you would need. And you just pretty much make sure it stays submerged. Put a little fermentation weight on top of it. A burping lid, maybe if you got a fermentation lid. And I don't remember the time. I'm going to call it a week. And it tastes just like pickle. Like a pickle. The texture is just like a pickle. Looking, and then the zucchini I used had a striped skin. Bruh, it looked like a pickle. So I can't wait to make them chips again. Matter of fact, I'm trying to lacto ferment everything I can. I want to know how all of that stuff tastes, because fermenting stuff changes the taste of it. Now these are my Alpine strawberries. they're a little worse for wear. You know what I'm saying? I really think the issue is, see them big old strawberries on that thing? I think the issue is that I'm letting them go to flower and produce fruit, and I just placed them here. I dug them up from over there, and I put some over here, and I put some in them little clay color pots on that towel. And I shouldn't have let them produce fruit. But that's cool. But they already running, so they're gonna replace themselves. And then the new ones that get put there, I will pop off the flowers. I will. You know what? I'm not gonna pop off the flowers unless they grow flowers this year, because they should have the rest of the season to get established and get good root systems growing. So next year, they should be able to produce me some berries. I need to cover them though, because those strawberries are good, and the birds like them, especially the robins. And another bird I can't identify yet, little gray bird with white tips on his wings. I don't know the name of it. This is a Chandler strawberry. This strawberry produces berries that are kind of rectangular. Not all of them, but the first ones that I saw, that's kind of what, you know, that's kind of what led me. At first, I knew this was a Chandler strawberry, but then I didn't know anything about Chandler strawberry. So then when I looked it up, I saw that they had square berries, and I saw that this one had a square berry. But this plant gets huge. I was planning on putting 3 plants in here. I'm glad I didn't. That was not going to work. I would have been upset. I gotta finish doing some cleaning. Gotta clean this up. Some poison ivy sitting over here. That's poison ivy growing up that log right there. Poison ivy growing right up in here. Probably should watch where I'm stepping because I'm barefoot. All right, we got in here in the tomato patch. This was supposed to be sugar cane. I planted sugar cane right through here. I'm glad I only planted just right through here because something came and ate them to the ground. I didn't know. I'm assuming it was a rabbit, but it could have been a squirrel. I truly don't know what it was, but I'm glad that that little test failed as opposed to me buying sugar cane and filling up this whole area and then it all getting eaten down. I would have been kind of upset at that waste of money. But the little proof of concept of help, that lets me know I'm gonna need to protect this area once I do put sugar cane out here. I do have one little sugar cane left. I didn't put them all out here because I'm OCD like that. So I'm probably gonna grow that one in a bucket. I got a homie who said he grew sugar cane last year and he had to run a press so he could press his sugar cane and he made some syrup out of it. So I love to hear that. He grew his in totes, he said. So it's possible. But this comfrey is looking good. It needs to drop some more seeds because my plan is to plant comfrey in between all the trees. I don't have the comfrey to plant yet. We think we have some seeds, and we have a few comfrey plants, but we're still hit or miss on us getting that gent just right. It's like nasturtium. We having a hard time growing nasturtium from seed. But yeah, the plan is to let the comfrey plant comfrey in between all the trees. If you know about comfrey, then you know. If you don't know, comfrey has a really deep tap root and it produces a lot of green material. So it pulls those nutrients from the ground, stores in the leaves. Then we cut the leaves, and then we're gonna do two things with the leaves. One, we're gonna chop and drop. We're gonna chop them and drop them around the trees so they can decompose and feed the trees. And we also are going to use some of the leaves to put in our JMS, our Jadam, no. JLF, Jadam liquid fertilizer. And that's just green materials, some compost, and some water. And just let it sit and it stinks. But yeah, that's pretty much how we feed the garden. We're a natural farm. The only thing we pretty much gonna buy as far as supplements go would be organic bone meal and blood meal. And sometimes earthworm castings. And I guess mushroom compost. But do you really count those as chemicals? Those are you know what I'm saying? But bone meal and blood meal would be like the chemicals that we buy, if you want to call those chemicals. And we only try to buy the ones that are OMRI listed on the organic chart. I don't know what that even means. Organic material registered, and I don't know. I just made that up. But let's see. We have some tomatoes. Some of them looking good. Some of them a little worse for wear. We don't care because when it comes to putting stuff out here in the garden, I put the weakest stuff that we have out here. The best looking stuff we sell at the market. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, man, why you shortchanging yourself? I mean, well, we grow it. We come across another one that look good or one that don't sell, well, we're gonna throw it out here. So don't harm no foul as far as we're concerned. Okay. Tomato patch is looking tomatoey. And I have some, what is this, Genovese basil and some holy basil that I left out here because I was transplanting. In between each plant, it's either a marigold, a basil, a Genovese basil, or a holy basil. Oh, that's what I forgot to put out here. I need to put out some purple basil. We have some purple basil, and I need to put some of that out here because again, it serves multiple purposes. It's a companion plant. It should help protect our tomatoes as well as give us more stuff to harvest, which means we have more stuff to use. Which means if we have a surplus, we have more things to sell. Right? The blackberries are blackberrying, looking good, looking good, looking good. We got new growth. If you're familiar with growing blackberries, then blackberries have a 2 year cycle. The first year they grow new canes. That's what these are. These have just sprouted up this year, since the year started. Honestly, since it started to get warm, like March sometime. So they are growing crazy. And then next year they're gonna start doing that. Start putting off fruit. So as you can see, everything that's fruiting this year is further away from it. I purposefully put everything that's growing in this year, like everything this year, will be attached to the wire on this side. So as it grows, I'll make sure it, and at some point I start attaching it, and then like these will get topped. I'm not gonna let it keep growing up because it will just keep growing straight up. So at some point I'm gonna cut it like right up in here, and then I'm gonna try to propagate the top part because I suck at propagating this stuff because I'm not. Yeah, I suck at growing this stuff, like propagating it. I don't have a system where I get 70% propagation. I have to figure it out. It's a humidity thing. Like they need to be humid because they don't have roots, but they do not like being too humid. Like I can't propagate these with figs at the same time in the same container. Figs will be fine and give me roots. These things going to rot because of the extra moisture. Man, I could just Google this stuff. I could just AI Google and ask the question, hey, what's the humidity that blackberries like to root in, and then see if I can achieve that myself. That'd probably be the easy way. But no, I want to do it the hard way, cause why not? It's fun. But yeah, we'll top these pretty soon. Get them tied to the wire, top them, and then I try to propagate these. Now, as you can see, as you probably can see, let's get the judge out and let y'all walk around a little bit. Let me move this thing. Get y'all out. I wanna move y'all around a little bit. Get y'all a little closer. Let's see. Let y'all see these berries. The berries are starting to form on the blackberries. So that means it's time to go get my 200 bags and start bagging these berries. Yes, it is a pain in the ass to bag all of these berry clusters individually, or the ones that are close enough they can fit in one bag. I guess they call it organza bags. Um, but it's still a pain. It is definitely a pain. But that's the only way you're gonna get some berries. The birds are gonna eat every single one of them if you don't. But it actually makes harvesting easy because when they're ready, I just go shake the bag, and what falls off in the bag, I just take out the bag, pour it in my bowl, and put it back on there. Still time consuming. But I guess the alternative is to build to get something like that, but make it big enough for here. So that means I'll be building something. I don't. I'm gonna be for real. I don't really want to build that type of infrastructure. I rather put the bags on, honestly. More strawberries. These are sequoia strawberries. These are the ones we have most in the yard. We had these first. I was gonna dig them all up and replace them with these alpines because these alpines are super sweet. But I'm not gonna lie, this year they kind of showed out. The berries are bigger and they are sweeter. Whoa, that kind of this kind of looked square like a Chandler, but this one shouldn't be no Chandler because this pot was full of berries and I just removed the ones that I wanted. That's kind of how I let my strawberries do like this. This is third year of these strawberries. I put like 8 of them out here, maybe. It was kind of like this. I just kind of put them here, and they gonna do their own thing. They gonna fill out quick. And after about the second year they fill out, I remove a bunch of them, and that's what we have to sell or to move around the yard. And then that's me thinning this out. So as you can see, I didn't even mulch this. I did nothing. I actually ran out of time. I had a plan to do it, but I was also saying this is the last patch that I care about because I also moved strawberries from up in the garden area near where we have Ginger Island now, up toward the top. And then I moved. Actually, those are those containers right there. One I moved strawberries there, and another one there. And so here, look at these strawberries. Somebody come look at these strawberries. Somebody come look at these strawberries. I'm tempted to get it even though it's not ready because the birds are gonna eat it. The birds have been pecking in these things while they're still green, bro. Oh, and we got blueberries. Sunshine Blue. This is a new one. I think it's the second season here. And a pink lemonade. Second season here. And they do put off pink blueberries, and they don't taste like lemonade. They just taste like blueberries. They still good though. This one I think I need to cover because I think the birds. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Like this ain't even blue, bro. And the birds just so greedy. Yeah, I need to cover this. There's already not a lot of fruit on here. But this one, I harvested some fruit from this one yesterday. This one, and I didn't get it all. But this one's looking pretty good. That is a climax. This is a tiff blue. And we have grapes down here. If I can not step on any stickers. Oh, that's gonna hurt. All right, we have some grapes down here. I need to put this one in the ground. I'm late. And then this one is doing well. It's doing okay. Like I, I had this cane to trying to create the trunk, but this part seemed to have died during the winter. But then right here it's starting to grow up, so this is just gonna be the new trunk. And then this is doing good. We got one set of canes going to the left, one to the right. So we're gonna train those up, and then this one will be the new main stem toward the top. And the rain is starting to come down, and I ain't propagated nothing. Didn't realize we are gonna talk about the garden this long, but hey, but that's the end. So now let's see what else are we going to propagate. Let's see. And I'm always walking around pulling out weeds, especially after a rain. I do hand pull a lot of weeds, and the ground is soft, makes it easy. All right, let's see. What are we going? I know for certain we are going to propagate that oregano. Anything else we want to try? We're gonna see. Oh, we're also going to remove. I guess this will be transplanting. There is some um, banana mint growing out of two strawberries over there. We're gonna reclaim that banana mint. Reclaim that thing, bro. I should have put my hoodie on. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can get you guys somewhere stationary. Somewhere stationary that y'all ain't all catawampus. Let's see if we can make something happen, Captain. I'd love to put you right here, but you can't be right there though. Can't be that Creed. Nah, Creed. You can't be that Creed. Let's see if we can get this like this. Sit, boo boo, sit. Ooh, good boy. All right, let's get this turn. Flip a ribber. Let's let's get that like that. And we got a little barrel. We can kind of put a little work in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a little work. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. We're gonna put the bucket of soil up there. This soil that we're using is reclaimed soil. We reclaim all our soil. Once we reclaim it, I sift it, and then I think they go that Mama Robin. We sift it and we, what's the word? Fortify it maybe. We add bone meal, blood meal to it, earthworm castings, mushroom compost if we have it, and then we use it again. And sometimes we dump the soil in our raised beds. We do not fill these beds with soil that we purchased. The bottom half of these beds are almost 2 feet tall, 4 foot by 8 foot by 22 inches, something like that. We fill the bottom half with sticks from out the yard. Top half with reclaimed soil because we grow in containers, we grow in ground. Um, we grow in beds. So anytime we have spent container soil, we dump it out here and we revitalize it. But okay, let me go grab my dish. All right, and all right. So we're going to, and I didn't bring a marker. But these are going in the house, so I can mark them anyway. I'll mark them when I finish. We are going to propagate some oregano. How do you propagate oregano? It's fairly simple. First, I'm gonna just get a cup, and I'm gonna fill this cup up with soil because these won't have any roots. So me filling this cup up with soil, that's my method. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own different ways, and there are multiple ways you can do it. Ain't no right way, ain't no wrong way. I fill my soil all the way to the top because I'm gonna press it down in it to give me a little lip that's gonna hold water. I'm gonna start with the tall one. I want to get a piece that's about 4 inches. That's your first. It should be about 4. That should probably be about 6, right? Depending on the size of your hand. I got baby man hands. So by here, so I'm gonna just take me a cutting like that. That's good right there. So that look good. So probably like right up in here, we're gonna grab this cutting, and I'm gonna take another bath because I'm outside and it's starting to sprinkle. Now, what you cut off, it's up to you how you use it. If you're really trying to close the circle, you should keep these, use them fresh or dry them. Um, I'm gonna try to dry these because my oregano container is getting kind of slim. And then bam. I mean, honestly, that's probably gonna be it. I'm probably gonna cut up just a tinch more. All right, I'm just cutting off the leaves now. Where the leaves came out at, those are called nodes. Those are the nodes. This is where you're gonna get root growth from the nodes. That they have the highest concentration of undifferentiated cells. In other words, they have cells that can become what the plant needs it to become. And in this case, the plant doesn't have roots, so it needs to. They need to become roots, right? So I'm going to explain. I also will try to trim about half of the remaining leaf material. Now my homeboy, his mom came through. They both came through. I hope that don't sound weird. She wanted to see the spot, and I was way more than happy to show the spot because um, she grows food. And she asked me, "Why you cutting off half of the leaves?" And I came up with a good analogy. I'm gonna see if I can remember that. Ooh, how did I say this? All right, the roots on this plant are the way that it uptakes water and nutrients, right? That's how it makes its money, right? That's how it makes its money. The leaves on the plant convert solar energy into plant energy, photosynthesis, right? So these are solar panels, right? The solar panels cost money for the plant, right? When you buy them in real life, they cost money. So each solar panel costs the plant every time, every month, right? Because it has to keep that solar panel operational, alive. So it takes plant energy to keep the solar energy, to keep the solar panels alive. So without roots, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have as much funds available to feed the solar panels, right? So it's going to be harder to make money when half of your solar panels aren't operational because you don't make enough money. You can't pull up enough nutrients because you have no roots to support them. So what I do is I cut them in half. Now, if this leaf was costing 10 units of energy for this plant, it now costs 5. So now I've decreased what the plant has to pay to maintain itself, right? So now it has a surplus to actually pump energy into creating more roots. And that's why I split the leaves in half. I hope that makes sense. I hope it resonated. But that's why I do it. And then I put it in a high humid environment. My partner has little greenhouse tents inside, heat mats and everything. So, and the humidity is always high. We're gonna put them in there. So that's my goal. We're gonna put these in there, and then we're gonna give them 2 weeks. And then usually most plants in about 2 weeks should start showing signs of life. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna show that they're standing up tall, having droop down, and hopefully you start seeing signs of new growth. And then you want to test them. At that point, once you think they cool, you know what I'm saying, take them out the tent, or maybe just open it, depending on what all you have going on in your tent. You might not want the humidity of the whole thing to drop. Take them out the tent, start acclimating them to the real world. See how much they drop. They should drop possibly a little bit because you just took them out of the perfect environment and made them have to. You don't put them in. You don't took them out of an environment to where it's so much moisture in the air. It's uptaking moisture through the stomata in the leaves, and you know what I'm saying. Little openings on the bottom side of the leaves that help plant transpire. It's so much humidity in there. They're pulling in moisture through the stomata as well as roots, early roots. So when you take them out of that high humidity environment, they're no longer able to pull in moisture through their leaves. So it's going to really stress the plant. Let me take that back. It's going to stress the plant. It shouldn't really stress the plant. It may droop, put it back in. It's the same thing that you do when you harden off a plant before you put it outside. Go put it in the sun, see how it reacts to it for a day. If it gets droopy, put it back in the shade. You know what I'm saying? You increase the amount of sunlight you give it until it can take care of the sunlight that it's going to get. Until it can handle the sunlight it's going to receive in the location that you put it in. Speaking, gotta use these words. All right, let's do this one. I mean, you could churn these things out pretty fast. Like I've never tried to quickly get a bunch of them done. And usually most bigger plants, I only leave like 2 sets of leaves, and I cut them off. I mean, I say in half. I really probably go like 80, 90% of that leaf, honestly. Honestly, but half is a good number to start with. We're gonna propagate some spicy oregano. Why do you want to call this thing spicy basil? Oh, I just bought some spicy glow basil seeds last night. So they keep fruity and slipping through my mind. Alright, let's keep going. Luckily this rain is holding on. I need to check the time too, bro. I'm actually enjoying myself today. You know I'm chilly. You know I'm chilly. I'm chilly Billy. Hey. bit, man. All right. Let's see what we looking like. We probably at time. Oh yeah, we're a little bit over. We're gonna finish this last one, and then I'm gonna end this stream. And at some point when I catch a break, if the rain don't beat me, I'm gonna come out here and finish giving this thing a haircut. I'm not gonna be too aggressive with it. I don't wanna. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna hurt man. Well, let me take that back. You really won't really hurt this mother plant from doing this. I mean, it's just gonna force her to grow more. Because each time I cut this, each of these little side leaves that I'm cutting off, each of these little side nodes that I'm cutting off, if I were to cut the top off here, I would just force these two to become the new top. So I'm basically giving more growing pains. I go from one growth point to these now the new two that are up here. So you helping the plant out. You keeping it short and squat. Most plants behave in that fashion. Oregano, basil, they say peppers do that too. I guess I will verify that this year. If it grows with internodes and stuff like that, it's a good chance that topping it will force it to grow laterally. What you're really doing is redistributing the growth hormone auxin because it's always found in the highest parts of the plant. So you redistribute it. So now this is no more the new top. You know what I'm saying? This is not the new top. These two are now the new top. So that growth hormone gets split and then now they grow faster. Which is also a reason we make FPJ, fermented plant juice. You grab the growing tips, you ferment them with brown sugar. It pulls off that hormone, and then you just left with a solution that has that growth hormone auxin in it. And we use it as an input in growing. It is added to all our solutions. Fermented plant juice, oriental herbal nutrient, and brown rice vinegar, or living vinegar, are the three main components of every Korean natural farming input solution. The OHN is oriental herbal nutrient. It is the medicine for the plants. The FPJ gives it that. I guess call it like the vitamins, like the Flintstone vitamins. Those are full of hormones that help the plant want to grow. And then the fermented, and then the brown rice vinegar is a living vinegar. We don't make brown rice vinegar, but we make a living vinegar, one that has the mother in it. And the point of that is to bring the pH down. It's to buffer the solution. It's to bring the pH down to a point where plants can uptake the nutrients. Because if you don't know, plants uptake certain nutrients in certain pH ranges. So if that doesn't make sense to you, you can do a little research on that because it is important. It's not necessarily gonna make or break you. Only certain plants, like blueberries, like acidic soil. So they like 4.5 to 5.5. So if you ain't doing something to make your soil acidic and you don't know the pH of your soil, your blueberries will not grow well. Mine are not looking great because that soil, I know it's not 4.5 or 5.5. It's hard to keep it there. You have to treat it every year with sulfur to keep it that low because by nature, it wants to be around 7, which is in the middle. 14 is alkaline on the opposite side. So just knowing that will help out. Most veggies like to be around 6 or 7. That's kind of why you don't really hear people talk about, at least I think, that's why you don't really hear people talk about pH. But the living vinegar, the brown rice vinegar in the solution helps lower the pH to where plants can uptake the nutrients better. Now, I haven't actually measured it to see what it lowers it to. I would love to see that though. Now that I say that because I'm a little nerd. That's how I do that. I have to get me like a pH pen. I have one, but I'm not sure how accurate it is. This will be the last one. We're going to call this one this. Because I'm getting chilly. I got to start back making tea. I used to do a tea of the day. But I've been kind of tripping since I ran out of hibiscus. I have not even really been drinking tea that much since I ran out of hibiscus during the winter. So we're also going to grow some hibiscus. We have some. We have 3 and 2 small propagates. But we also started some roselle hibiscus seeds. So we're going to try to create more hibiscus. All right, we're going to call this fair. And then I'm going to cut on her a little bit more. I think you know what? That's long. Yeah, we're going to grab the long. I might need to stand you up. You know what? We're going to take one more cut. And then I'm going to be done. For real this time. For real. Last one. We're going to take this one. And I ain't even get the cut ready first. Oh, you so small. All right, let's trim this up a little bit higher. Let's see if that helps or hurts. Trying to find that balance of leaves to leave on the plant to make it produce roots fast is I don't know, an art, a science. It's an art or something. It probably is a science. I don't know it, but we're gonna treat it like it's an art. It's an art form. And I say just play around with it until you get results that you like. Because every plant is not gonna behave the same. You know what I'm saying? The amount of leaves you leave on one plant ain't gonna necessarily work for another plant. But try it out and see what happens. All right. Now the watering part of these. Once I get these in here, right? I'm going to soak them. I'm probably going to once. Hopefully, I fill this tray up. I doubt it, but we're gonna fill this tray up with some water, and we're gonna let them soak. And once they soak up everything, then I'm gonna stick them in whatever tent is available on the heat mat, and that's where they'll sit. And then I don't know. In about a week, I'll check for moisture. They should still be plenty moist. They should still have plenty of moisture because nothing. The stem is going to pull up some moisture through capillary action, but it's not made for feeding the plant in that capacity. So it's not going to be as efficient. So it's not going to drink as much water. And let's do this. We're going to steal a cup and we're going to take these in the house and wash them off. And then I'm going to throw them in the, you know what, I'm probably not going to throw them in the dehydrator. I'm probably just going to leave them on the counter to dry. And then once they get dry and crispy, crispity, crackety, crunchity, then I will put them in the coffee grinder. And then store them in a mason jar. No, actually, yes, because this is spicy oregano. I don't want to mix this in with my regular oregano because my regular oregano is oregano from out the garden over there. It comes from over yonder, and we're gonna use that oregano the same way we use this oregano. You're gonna put it in the bed, treat it as a ground cover, and that's what we do. You put it in the bed, treat it as a ground cover. Now we keep this one tame. In other words, it spreads and we pull it back to 1 square foot every year. Like I dig up, make some new plants, move it around. I put some over there, back to 1 square foot. Because before I didn't really want it to be a ground cover. But my partner kicked me out of this part of the garden when I started making that part, and she's gonna turn this into a herb garden. So her herb bed right up there is not gonna become an herb garden, and I'm getting kicked out. But she did say she liked the oregano, so it's probably gonna just become a ground cover. I'm surprised she's letting these collard greens go as well. I'm gonna be for real. I thought for sure they was they gonna be in her way of progress. But anyway, hey, I had fun this stream. I was chilly, but I had fun this stream. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Thanks for stopping by, Dragons, Joker, Game, everybody else I missed. I appreciate y'all, bro. Anything else before I get up out of here? No, it's time to go get warm. My hands is cold. My hands is cold. My hands is cold. All right, y'all know how I end this thing, right? Create more than you consume, and you don't have to suck at this because I do. Oh, you know what? Follow your boy on Insta. I ain't like I got much posted on Insta. I just usually, if I'm doing something out here, I try to take some pictures. I usually drop them on Insta. On Insta, I suck at this. ISUCKATTHISSS. Some extra S's at the end. I suck at this shit seriously. That's what that stands for. Holla at your boy. Just follow me. I mean, it's how you kind of stay abreast of what's going on the homestead or maybe at the farmer's market. Slides are wet. Of course, my feet are wet. So y'all know how this goes. Create more than you consume, and you don't have to suck at this because I do. Have a good one, all right? Peace.